If you have a miscarriage, there are federal protections you may be able to use to take time off work if you need it. My name is Paige Sparks. I'm an employment lawyer. I'm sorry for your loss if this happens to you, and there are things you can do to take time off work to recover. The United States does not have a federal law that specifically applies to leave just for suffering from a miscarriage, but there are 2 other federal laws that you can layer together to take leave depending on the facts of your situation. First, if you're eligible, you can take FMLA, which is the Family Medical and Leave Act. It is up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave for a serious health condition. Miscarriage may qualify as a serious health condition if you have a doctor's note that shows you need additional time off for treatment or other recovery from it. FMLA does not specifically grant leave for miscarriage or bereavement from pregnancy loss, but you can also get FMLA for other conditions like severe depression, which is very normal to have after suffering a miscarriage. If you want FMLA for this, I would personally ask your doctor if they would fill out the paperwork for you for one of those 2 reasons. They will then provide that to you to give to your employer or send it directly to your employer if you give them the contact information. Next, you can use the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act to ask for a reasonable accommodation in the form of unpaid leave or whatever you specifically need. Under the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, employers with 15 employees must provide reasonable accommodations when you request it for things related to pregnancy, childbirth, and miscarriage. If you want to request a reasonable accommodation under this act, I would make sure that A, you do it in writing, send it in an email so you can prove you did it later in case the employer retaliates, which we always hope they don't, but sometimes it happens. You can specifically request a reasonable accommodation for your loss for unpaid time off from the miscarriage. Some states may also offer more protections. Depending on what state you're living in and the specific situation that you're in, there may be more things you can do. Let me know what other questions you have about your rights at work.